Ignition. 3, 2, 1. We've got RIP takeoff. We're here today, another live edition of the Self Luv Show. This is a long form podcast, lessons, not lectures. Today we're covering the immigration or invasion crisis in America. But, you know, we all about that Chi-Town talk. So please like, share, subscribe. We're going to unpack controversial topic, which needs to be unpacked right here live on the Self Luv Show. All right, Chi-Town, on your ready?
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Please like, share, subscribe.
In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying all the way through the show to put, quote, new wine into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there's anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be clear and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child, for said the Master in spiritual things, quote, except you become as little children. Ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times there seems to be repetition, please remember, the Self Luv Show is a lesson, not a lecture.
Coalition, no block. It's 10 o'clock. Where the fuck y'all niggas at? Here, this what y'all wanted me in Chicago? No block right here. That shit coalition, no block. It's 10 o'clock. Where the fuck y'all niggas at? Niggas ain't outside. It's only 10 p.m. Where the fuck y'all niggas at, block?
O Block right now. Where we at? Tell you something, man. This Nino Brown, man. I'm live on O Block right now. Where we at? This O Block. I'm from Miami. I just want to tell niggas, man, we gotta stop killing each other, man. Yeah, this shit ain't about nothing. All that killing shit, we gotta work together, man. Stop killing each other, my nigga. I had to come over here and tell niggas that shit, my nigga.
I'm right here. See where I'm at. I'm out here. Black Star Line cigars. For grown man. On some grown man stuff. And to the PDs, stop doing that killing. Please, stop doing that killing.
And even in this instance, if I could be a service to a 9-year-old girl or a 19-year-old woman or girl who wants to be a woman, is to really remember that self-love is the best way that you can receive love from anybody else, because it's coming from you. A lot of times we forget that. We look externally for this love. We look externally for this feeling of validation and adoration and approval, and it has to come from within.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Self-love vision. Need that self-love vision this morning. Oh, yes, we need some self-love vision. All right, y'all. Y'all know what it is, what it do. We live and live in color. And welcome to Chi-Town's very own The Self Luv Show, where we got two mottos. Motto number one is on earth as it is in heaven. Big ups to the Most High, to the ancestors, and my belated late Mama Sky. Motto number two is as above, so below. Right now, we can be found, Malcolm, exclusively on our YouTube channel, This Ain't That Network. And as we say, TATN. TATN. This is one of the co-hosts, 9 Millie, also part of the Self. Chi-Town, what down, Chi-Town, what down. Repeat after he. I am greater than my excuse. I am greater than my excuse. I am definitely greater than my excuse. We live, we in living color. Today is Sunday, May 21, approximately 2:25 p.m. in the Chi. And as always, we love to acknowledge that you cats can be at any place and at any time in this wonderful universe, God's gift. But thankfully, we all chose to be here together. Here together. What down, Chi-Town? What down, Brother Wordsmith? What you manifesting today, Brody?
Love. 9, you know me. I'm manifesting love today. About yourself.
Same, bro. Pure, unfettered, unfiltered. Some say harsh, others say tough, but love just the same.
No doubt.
So, bro, what's been going on in your neck of the Chi since we last did our thing?
Yep. Some people showed out. They showed up and showed out at the protest for them using South Shore.
Was it
Jacko
a riot
Slacko.
or a protest?
It was a protest. It was they had a meeting, really, to try to ram it down their throats. And they were hoping that only a couple of people were going to show up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it was very crowded. Jacko Slacko went. He was at
Slacko went.
Yeah, Slacko was at the meeting.
Was he holding a sign? Did he say anything?
Well, no, I don't know. What I mean, he kind of said some things about what happened. He said somebody was fighting or something in there. I'm like,
Fight broke out?
A lot of arguing. People saying, build the wall.
Yeah, it was a whole build a wall sign, bro.
Yeah.
Said, I thought it was Donald Trump sitting there. He's sitting there with a build a wall sign. Big ups to Slacko, though, for going out there and politic.
Yes, sir.
Working the process, I suppose, as they say.
Oh, yeah.
Man, and that's funny you mentioned that, because if you guys don't know, that's what we're covering today. This is about the immigration, or is it invasion, crisis that's taking place in Chicago. That's what we're going to be breaking down today. We always kick it off with the Self Luv Show quote of the day. Then our more growth and development video. We break down a video. We show our the next video we run after that is we sit there and we unpack what's called tattoo tyranny, and we just show our government interacting with the citizenry who they are sworn to serve and protect, and we decide, hey, is that tyranny? Is it anarchy? Or do we like what we saw out there from our employees vis-a-vis public servants? And big ups to the ones who are doing their damn job the way we're paying them to do their damn job. Of course, we have a dome teaser because your mind is a terrible thing to waste. So we'll give you a riddle, and then we expect the chat to participate and solve it. That's the only way your mind will grow and you can start processing, getting the kids in and out of the huddle, as they say in the NFL. If you don't figure it out, normally Self Luv will. And at the end of the show, he'll give you the response. And if he doesn't, I'll give you the key. But you got to wait to the very end to get it. If your brain or your mind is feeble enough to not be able to process this information and produce a viable answer in the chat. Today's topic is immigration or invasion. Phone lines are always open. You can call, text 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Troll free.
Once again, it's 424-900-6945. That number's absolutely what?
Positively troll free. Trolls get holes around here.
Yeah, I'll make you famous. All right. I'll be your Huckleberry. All right. Please smash that like button, you guys. Tweet this link. Let's get it out there. We want to hear from you guys more than anything. Self Luv and I, we've gone down this rabbit hole. We've discussed it before. We've done a whole show, and Can Brown and Black be down? We love those who are down amongst the Hispanic community. Big ups to all of them, Self Luv.
Correct.
Big ups. We love everybody. This is the Self Luv Show. We've learned to love all of our ops. We're praying for the pink stink to a certain extent. But that's the show we're breaking down here today. So please smash that like button. Self Luv, you got any announcements out there?
Boom, 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 boom. Y'all already know, baby. It's going down.
It's house.
Yo,
Wash it.
Need y'all to hit that link. See what it's all about. Grab your tickets. Still sponsorship placements. Come on. Support.
Yeah. House stock. www.housestock.net. I pinned it in the chat. Let's support this endeavor and get out there and have a fantastic time.
Man, magnanimous.
Yeah. Self Love loves music. Any kind of music. All right.
Did you heard?
Yes. Yeah, it's a nice little song. Some would consider it house music. Many house heads who don't consider themselves house heads, according to a house head. So all right, let's what do you got to say about that? So
Yeah, it's going to be a great thing. And there are many people that call themselves many things and don't allow themselves to be called many things. And there's house heads, and then there's people that just love house, or they just say they are house and not house heads, perhaps.
Well, I'll tell them what they are. All right. My announcements, as always, to stop the violence. Also, R.I.P. Jim Brown. So,
Yeah. Praises, rest in peace.
Man, rest in peace. Happy belated birthday to my ship, Corey Pierre Goose Hardcore.
Okay.
Yeah, I meant to do this last week. And then I want to also give a big ups to my aunt. Happy belated birthday on the wife's side. But yeah. We lost a legend though in Jim Brown. Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Facts. Lost a major legend. We're going to be covering that on Mouthpiece Included, you guys, next Sunday. Edify yourself regarding Jim Brown, because let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Walter Payton, Jim Brown would be number one on my GOAT list in the National Football League.
Man, he walked away when, he was killing.
Yeah, didn't even play with thigh pads or knee pads, so just ran everybody over. I don't think he had respect for the Penguins. I know when you played, you said you don't respect your opponent. I always respected everybody. But then again, if I was running around there was a bunch of them out there, I may or may not respecting them. Just for the record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if there's anybody from, our Latino community, anybody who may live in the South Shore area or Chicago, any undocumented or unhoused or people who've immigrated here as a recent nature, we definitely want to hear from you on this topic. But absolutely enough of my yapping. I'll turn it over to this brother so he can handle his business.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the Self Luv Show. Immigration or invasion crisis in Chicago. That's what we're going to unpack today. And y'all know, as always, we have a very important video, which is the Silverback More Growth and Development platform, which we're building the Self Love Nation off of. And before that, we have the Self Love Show quote of the day. Illegal immigration costs the taxpayers of the United States a lot of money, and it's unfair to Americans who are working every day to pay their own bills. It's also unfair to a lot of people who have waited in line for years and years in other countries to be legal immigrants. Once again, immigration costs the taxpayers of the United States a lot of money. And it's unfair to the Americans who are working every day to pay their own bills. It's also unfair to a lot of people who have waited in line for years and years in other countries to be legal immigrants. William J. Clinton.
Interesting.
Silverback More Growth and Development platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, shine a light on positive influence. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen. Number 10, protect our women, children, and men by any and all means necessary.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. In case you guys missed last week's show, we continued our riveting series on dead rappers entitled 187 Bars. It was volume 7. And we covered the legendary late Lisa Left Eye Lopez. How did she die? Was it foul play? And Self Love and I, we gave our opinion on that situation.
Absolutely. And it's a lot of new information came out because it was something that came out recently. So go check it out and you get all up to par, know where you at.
Yeah, you can see it right here on TATN.
That's right.
R.I.P. Lisa Lopez.
Yes, and much respect to her family and everything.
Thanks. All right, you guys, please smash that thumbs up. Smash that thumbs up, that like button. The algorithm loves it. Today's coverage is immigration or invasion. Phone lines are open. They're troll-free, 424-900-6945. Smash that like once again. Self Love, did you see a video, Republic cracks? You got Democrats and you got Republic cracks.
I'm not sure. I pretty much stay unplugged as much as I can.
Big ups to production right here at TATN, and big ups to ABC7. We're using this under fair use for educational and laughter purposes.
A city councilman caught asleep behind the wheel with a crack pipe in his hand. This is in Rhode Island. A concerned passerby saw him and called police. Even officers seemed shocked by what they found.
You're a councilman in Cranston, smoking crack with crack on you. What do you think the constituents would say?
The councilman told them he had smoked crack earlier at his home after being clean for 13 years. He says he relapsed because of a bad divorce. Riley, who is an attorney, also resigned as chairman of the Cranston Republican Party. Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by
I
clicking.
wish they would have played the whole thing. I wanted to hear his response.
Man.
He was high when he was talking to him. He was sitting there like Tally on South Park.
That can't be more embarrassing than that, man. That's
Republic cracks. Now we got a new name.
Oh, man. Oh, that was quite hilarious.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's sad too. I mean,
It is. That looked like he relapsed or something, because who would be asleep behind the wheel?
Well, if he's got a shrewd enough divorce lawyer, which my spidey senses are saying maybe that's what led to the divorce, the relapse may have come prior to the divorce filings may have come prior to the relapse may have come prior to the divorce filings. Money was missing.
Yeah.
The wife knew, oh boy, you know what I mean? And then what he's saying now is just another crack lie.
Yeah. Could very well be, because that motherfucker, he was standing up there high as hell.
trying to look composed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I swear he was sitting there like Tally off South Park. I'm so high right now. Rhode Island.
Oh, that was funny.
But he's a member of, your government. out there. I mean, listen, let me tell you something. Drug addiction is a disease, so we're not making light of that.
Yeah, but the way a lot of these laws and all this stuff is set up, I think it's more of that than we know, because there's something wrong.
You might
Lobbyists
be
get
right, Self,
everything.
because if I was part of the Illuminati and I was lobbying these politicians and I come to realize, oh, you mean you can just give them crack and they'll pretty much vote any way you want them to vote? I'd be looking for crackheads to prop them up in these positions. You know what I mean? Because they're easier to, say anything for crack.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hey.
Is that tyranny, what we just saw? I definitely can't give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, I definitely can't. I mean, I guess we'd have to say it's tyranny because he's completely abdicating his position. You're not being the best councilman you can be if you smoked out in your car, sleep at the light or wherever you was at with the crack pipe in your hand.
Which means he took the hit at the red light. I mean, he didn't even have common decency to pull over somewhere in case he passes out. And he's got to be hitting the whole whistle. I mean, he's hitting the whole whistle, Self. Standing there listening to this pink cop. How do you think your constituent? You're my constituent. What are you talking about? You voted Republican. How do you feel? That's what I would have asked him. You voted for me. How do you think your constituents would feel? What I mean? I'm not paying you to lecture me about my addiction. Cop was talking to him like he was Dog the Bounty Hunter. And we don't know what's in Dog's heart.
Yes, we do, but okay. Oh, shoot, he was arrested.
That guy was sitting there. Got caught with the pipe. You see, he tried to stick the pipe over to the side like the cop hadn't already seen it. I'm going to give it this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now we're going to go slightly down. He can't be out there smoking crack on the job out there.
He ain't even sprinkling it on his shit. That woman's got the whole whistle out there in traffic, feeling like he can get away with it, sitting at the light, and then blame the divorce. And he know damn well that's why his wife left him a lynch. You know what I mean? The mortgage money was gone.
It's like, how the fuck is you a councilman, and where's
you
the
can't
money?
even drive? You can't even drive from your house to the place of business without hitting the whistle.
And he said he had smoked at home earlier. Why are you rolling around with the
line? Smoke.
Yes.
Tried a lot. I saw the crack pipe sitting on your lap. What do you mean you smoked at home? Get yourself some help. Rhode Island too, Self. Now, you know damn well if that was some sort of black representative from the city of Chicago, this would be all over the world.
Oh, man.
Republic cracks. All right, today's topic is, you guys let us know if you think that's tyranny. Immigration or invasion. Phone lines are open, troll free, 424-900-6945. Please smash the like button. This is our new segment. It was pink on pink crime. I've admitted itself. It's just pink crime. All right, pink crime. This one's entitled Heroin or Villain. Big ups to WSB TV. Fair use, general laughing purposes.
New at 5, a Channel 2 Action News exclusive. A Cobb County mother facing charges after police say she admitted to driving under the influence of heroin with a baby in the car. Channel 2's Michael Seiden live at Marietta Police Headquarters. And Michael, you got a look at newly released video from the incident.
And Linda, I got to tell you, you don't even have to be a parent to be impacted by this video. It's extremely tough. What you're going to see is an innocent baby sitting in his car seat. And in this video, the baby is all smiles, but you can really tell that the situation's taking a toll on
He waited for the
officers
camera to
who
get on him to
suspect
start picking his
the baby's
nose.
mother is high on heroin.
Hey, cool, right?
It's the video breaking hearts across Metro Atlanta.
You're gonna be all right, okay, buddy?
An infant sitting all alone in his car seat, unaware that his mom is headed to jail. Those voices you hear in the video are coming from 2 Marietta police officers who are clearly upset by what they're witnessing.
Breaks my damn heart, brother. This is... Dude, I'd never seen anything like that, so I have no idea.
Marietta police say it all began Sunday afternoon when employees of this McDonald's off Bells Ferry Road called 911, reporting that a woman had passed out behind the wheel of a car with a baby inside.
Clearly high off something.
She's still in the car?
Yeah, she's still in there. And the baby's just sitting there looking. She ordered food and you see the baby's back there.
Ma'am? 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 Hey, Marietta Police, ma'am. Hey, what's going on? Hey, stop reaching. What's going on? You're really tired?
Man. That's...
Yeah, go ahead and turn the car off for me real quick.
The driver, identified by police as 24-year-old Kelsey Warren, is completely out of it.
What we find out later is that she is a heroin addict, that she was using heroin, had used recently. There was also cocaine in the car.
These photos show an officer pulling a syringe from the car. Fortunately, the driver's son wasn't injured, but investigators say this is becoming an all too familiar scene.
Sadly, we get these calls multiple times a week.
I can listen to him. He's got hair.
Yeah, and that's exactly why Marietta police officers carry a can of Narcan with them. Now, in this particular situation, they didn't have to use it, but there have been countless times where they have saved lives going to these types of calls. Meantime, this mother tonight, Kelsey Warren, she remains behind bars facing numerous charges. We're live in Marietta. Michael Seiden, Channel 2 Action News.
The arrogance of this guy to start picking his nose, knowing they're filming him on live TV. But that's besides the tragic story we just saw. I mean, you got this poor pink girl, drop dead gorgeous, with the infant in the back seat out there. So
that's nuts.
Off that heroin.
That's nuts, man. That's sad.
Yeah, Sharuka said very sad. And do you think I like the way they had the kid gloves, but the issue, I just wonder if they'd have had that if that was Shaniqua sitting at the drive-through on 73rd and Colfax.
No, no. Would not get
the compassion. I don't think she should have been arrested, personally. In a society that I'm building, we're building for Silverdale. A person like that shouldn't be arrested.
Yeah, I mean, they need some help.
They need some help. They need some help.
They can do that with their child in the car.
Correct. With the infant in the car at the drive-thru.
Yes.
And so for there's smoke, there's fire. There's more than that's. But the compassion that they had all up and down through law enforcement, even with the news report on it, that compassion, I just ask our community to have that compassion for us when we see us in that situation and not be so quick to go in.
Yeah.
Going off the diesel, Blue Magic Queen. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to find empathy and compassion to deal with us and see through our issues on a lot of things for the sake of our advancement.
Like John Morant, we got to have empathy. Here's what I'm telling you. No. Let me get on camera. Here's what I'm telling you, so. And this is why they would never hire me at ESPN. But we got TATN.
Yes,
if I'm sitting there and some jackass asks me to comment on Ja Morant, I'm going to use empathy right there in a public national forum. Obviously, this young man, needs some help. It's not processing everything that's going on, and let's just pray for him and his family. That's it.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a negative speech.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't take anything to not say something negative. I mean, that's all you got to do is, like you said, that was very well stated.
Hey, Sharuka said Blows Park. Sharuka, I remember I was taking this young lady home from work. I didn't know she was on the shit. I thought we were going to get a bag of, marijuana. And this is in the 90s. And she takes me through a spot on the west side somewhere. And so if they was out there, the guy was screaming at the top of his lungs, blows, crack, weed, blows, crack, weed. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. That is a microcosm of what's killing us. And it wouldn't be possible, Self, without all the poverty, you know what I mean, and the negative vibrations going on, the frequencies that's, pumped into the community.
Yep. We pump a lot of that into our own bodies with the food that we eat. And the food that they're allowed to, the only food that's allowed in our areas to purchase.
Yeah, that's why the small hats who got this from us, they use kosher food. It's humanely killed. The animal didn't see it coming. You know what I mean? And those vibrations aren't pumped into the food. Yeah, I mean, to your point, Self, the food.
And there's a priest that blessed the thing. That's what the kosher.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And the halal is similar with the halal.
The food, I would say the books we choose to read, but the programming that
all of it,
we get from the internet, from the TV, from the radio, from the music,
everything that we consume.
I mean, even the NBA stuff, they got all the players running around shooting ice water up their veins.
What?
Yes. You haven't seen that?
No.
When they hit a three or something, they're all doing this.
No, I ain't paid enough attention to it. That's what they.
Yeah, but it's there. It's there in the subconscious. It's their program. And the fentanyl, whatever you want to call it. You got this going on, and people dying and literally shooting bullshit in their arms and mainlining, these drugs and those drugs and all this and that. And the league talks about Ja Morant. It was Pookie out there. Pookie owes everybody. It's his fault. It's his fault that there's poverty in the Black community and killings with guns. And I'm not giving them a break here at all. I mean, I've spoken on that. But what I'm saying is they talk about their brand, but then they let the Lakers, LeBron James, and all types of people, shoot needles up their arm, saying they got ice water in their veins.
Well, all those leagues are hypocritical.
You've been saying it's scripted.
It is. A lot of it. It looks too much like it.
Some of these 10 hat. I swear I gotta work on
some of these easy shots that I'm seeing that are missed. Hey,
some of the blown calls.
Well, the calls are the real thing that make you look at it crazy. Like, because the refs can really decide who wins. Period.
Are you telling me you question everything?
Oh, of course, I'm on this show, you know what I mean? And I got the self-love principles down. So, yeah, question everything.
Yeah, so it's sad. Let's get her some help. It's sad for that child. Let me get on camera, my bad. It's sad for the baby. Like you guys have said, it's sad all the way around. But it's a pink crime, and that's what it is. but I personally wouldn't have arrested her. And I pray that I would have used the same favor for a black lady. I'm not saying I wouldn't have said, hey, you know what I mean? Maybe that's your rock bottom or something like that. But
I mean, something's got to be done, though. I don't, try to get her into a treatment as opposed to arrested. But
I know they say treatment doesn't help.
She can't just roll away.
No. Mandatory treatment.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. And I don't believe in putting the baby with the foster system. It's got to be somebody in the family who's not shooting ice water in their veins.
Hopefully, because, man, if she's that desperate that somebody would not watch him, then it might not be nobody. Because, I mean,
correct.
To do that with that child there, I don't think there's somebody that would watch the child, because she don't want to be doing that and around the child. That's blow it all up.
And that's why I think, because I lost a niece, to that type of tragedy. And that's why I think the league, should stop those players from shooting anything in their veins.
Yeah.
They don't let them do guns motions and all of that. But, John Morant does his jiggy dance or critty dance, whatever you call it. I call it the coon dance. And he's loading up guns and it looks like he's doing that too. And the league doesn't have a problem with it, so. But all right, let's jump to the dome teaser, lighten it up. Here we go, Self Love. ChatGTP couldn't come up with any more dome teasers. They were coming up with some either we had gone through or just kept running through the same ones. So I went to a regular source. Here's today's dome teaser. I'm going to type it in here. What tastes better than it smells? What tastes better than it smells? That's today's dome teaser. I've typed it into the chat. For anyone who wants to chime in on here, you've got to look at him. He was processing. For any kids out there who probably shouldn't be watching the show, he was processing. All right. I don't know if his ancestors gave him the answer or what, but he worked his mind, he processed, he typed it into our personal thread here, which I don't see his response.
Apparently, I don't know how to spell it.
But what tastes better than it smells? That's today's dome teaser. Let's see what Self Love is type. He butchered the spelling, but hey, this isn't a spelling bee, and so he's gotten the answer correct. All right, Self Love, but enough of the appetizers out there.
Let's quench the Self Love Nation's thirst.
All right, we don't have any answers from the Goyam. Big ups to our production staff. Looks like Self Love will be the winner once again. And the purpose of our show is lessons, not lectures. We're here to get. Is Self Love frozen or what's going on out there?
No, I'm cool.
Oh. All right, we're here to depict us in the light that we deserve to be depicted in. We are the original man and women. We are the children mentioned in the Bible, the children of God. That's the only way it would make sense if you really think about that. We were first, so what I mean. But roll it whenever you're ready, dear out here. Big ups to production. I am the price you pay to be a star. I can make you rich or break your heart. I can take your soul and give you fame. But you won't know my name until it's too late. What am I?
Deal with the devil.
That's right. You're the devil. That's right. Devil comes in many forms, they say.
This comes tonight as Chicago declares a state of emergency over the migrant crisis.
In fact, new arrivals coming late tonight as the mayor says more money is needed to handle the growing problem.
Off a busted bus with one bag to their name. This is what night one of asylum looks like for 24 men who've traveled days to make it
Somebody's
to
going to say
Chicago
Miyate
shelter.
in the background. They means Roach. Listen close.
Venezuela. When did, when did you get into Chicago?
Miyate. Take that back, production. Positive. Supposedly there's a negative. Miyate. I used to get on the bus out here in Cali and talk about like Miyate. And that's a term they use. There's a positive.
Says more money is needed to handle the growing problem.
Off a busted bus.
It's a derogatory
one
term
bag to
used
their
for
name.
black people.
This is what night one of asylum looks like for 24 men who've traveled days
See
to
the
make
black
it
guy
to
there?
this Chicago shelter.
Where are you guys coming from? Venezuela. Venezuela. When did you get into Chicago?
Miyate. There's a positive. Supposedly there's a negative. When you talk about balance. All right. So big ups to Self Love, small ups to the chat. Next week, Self, on May 21st, right here live on the Self Love Show, we're going to be covering immigration or invasion. If you can reduce volume, please.
We are asking for help to find a future for our family, he says. That's what we came here for. That's what he came here for.
Today, we're going to be unpacking a topic that has been making the headlines now for months. Illegal aliens in Chicago. We estimate that the number of illegal aliens who enter the United States daily ranges anywhere from 6,000 to 8,000, depending on the month. This is only an approximation and may not capture the full extent of illegal immigration into the United States. Chicago, a sanctuary city, is one of the most welcoming cities in the country for immigrants. It's also facing a humanitarian crisis as thousands of migrants arrive from Texas and Colorado, where they're being bused by Republican governors who may or may not be on crack as part of a political ruse. Many of these migrants are seeking asylum from violence and poverty, same violence and poverty we seek asylum from in our communities. But they're seeking asylum from their home countries. They're also struggling to find shelter, services, and support in the great city of Chicago. Chicago has declared an emergency and opened up its public facilities, such as schools and police stations, to house migrants. But many residents are protesting these measures, as Self Love mentioned, and demanding that the city prioritize its own needs first. Meanwhile, Chicago is asking for federal and state aid to cope with the influx of migrants and to help them resettle in a more dignified fashion. In today's episode, live, right here on TATN, we're going to explore the legal, political, and social implications of this crisis and what it means for our beloved city's future, founded by a black man who was an immigrant. This is the Self Love Show. It's coverage on immigration or invasion. Our phone lines are open, troll free, 424-900-6945. Make sure you smash that like button. Today's episode is sponsored by Midwest Festival presents House Stock. That link is pinned in the chat, www.housestock.net. Let's support black business. And also, if you want to get you some house gear, you can get it from there. Or you can get it from www.etsy.com/shop/Metro Vibe. Big ups Jazzy. You can kill it. I think I know that guy too, standing there in that bear shirt.
Yeah, he looked familiar.
Mm-hmm. I think it was an IOTA or something down there in U of I. All right. Don't start this. Hold on. Yeah, of course you're gonna start now. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's talk about it, Self. Let's unpack it. Trif Max said ain't they, in the old South Shore High School? Yeah, they tried to pull it, Trifo and Big Ups.
Yeah, there was a big contention of people that came there to go against it. But in light of it, we'll see actually what happens. That's what I feel about.
Oh, we got
they still might pull it, you know what I mean? But they haven't pulled it as of yet.
We got a lot to unpack. But before we get there, and big ups, Trife Mac, why are people flooding? And this is something we've discussed in the past, but why are people flooding the U.S. borders in record numbers at this time?
Because this so-called land of milk and honey, and they can come here and get a white status because the majority.
Oh wow, you're going right there. All right, go ahead.
The majority people are trying to keep their numbers up, and everybody that comes in is white.
Okay. Great take. Yeah, and so I would say a majority of them are coming here due to poverty. Something Dr. King has spoken of.
A better life, milk and honey. That's what that was, you know.
Poverty, crime, you know, within their communities. You know, everybody's got their reasons, but they're fleeing poverty and crime, seeking a better opportunity at life for themselves and their family. Is it fair enough?
Yeah, I think that there are also some people that's looking to come and exploit here as well, that, you know, criminals are coming too.
Listen to the Black Donald Trump. No, I hear you. I hear you.
All types. That's what I think.
hear you. I hear you.
I don't think it's a majority of one or the other. Well, I think it's majority trying to escape that. I think the majority of them are escaping that. Well, there's a small contention.
Well, to your point, when I moved about coming to be white, you know, when I first moved to the West Coast, I was kind of floored by. I mean, I actually met a Latino. He was part of white supremacy. He was part of local skin. All his friends were white.
Yes.
It floored me. And I noticed a lot of them listen to rap music. Now, this was in the Valley. When I first moved here, I was in the San Fernando Valley. Now you know, I'm in the city, but it floored me. I didn't understand that. I was ignorant. I was ignorant. I thought all brown people were down with blacks due to the exploitation and the common enemy. No, they were listening to heavy metal music. Now, don't get me wrong. There was a contingent self that listened to Tupac.
Yes.
You see them and they down, bro. You know
but
what
hey,
I'm saying?
It's a contention of us that is completely separate, and it's not a monolithic culture. You know, there are people that won't, you know, mess with our kind.
Yep.
And then there's some that do. And
I had no idea they existed. So I always thought, you know, even over east, around the avenues in Chicago and east of Commercial, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I always thought, you know, they don't get down with a certain group because of what's said they're claiming. But I had no idea that there was a root of hatred for black people there.
Well, it kind of depends on where they're from, because like there are a lot of Spanish speaking people that are the same people as us. They were just kind of conquered by Spain.
You're right. You're right. There's the ones that were there already, the indigenous ones who were dark. And then there's ones who came over from Spain and flooded in, which is why they're speaking Spanish, because that wasn't their native tongue.
Right. It wasn't a native term. It's a commerce language. Like English. Yes.
Under what circumstances in your mind should we be allowing these asylum seekers to cut the line from other families who filled out the paperwork and they're running from the same types of poverty and crime and government corruption? under what circumstances, if any, should we be allowing these asylum seekers to cut the line?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure because it kind of doesn't make sense to let somebody who did something so-called illegal. And for the record, I've already stated this, that if I live somewhere where it was complete poverty and all of that, and across the street was somewhere where you could live and make money that you could never make
Milk and
there,
honey.
then I'm going across the street. So I don't want it to be. I understand, and our violence that we consider could be minimal to some places where they're coming from, and the poverty is definitely a different level. The state of poverty in this country is not, I don't think, comparable to most of those places. So I don't know. The whole thing is, if they took care of everybody that was here already, and everybody was taken care of, then I would be, like.
No, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. All right. Right now, we're discussing what circumstances should allow asylum seekers to cut the line, and you gave your response, your rebuttal. I'm thinking there would have to be extreme special circumstances there. Like Tony Montana was telling Manny, tell him you're a political refugee, seeking asylum. You're a political refugee. I didn't say sanitation. I said sanitarian. So I'm thinking if there's an immediate threat to the individual's life due to maybe, they're fighting the corruption in their society, that's something that I would be okay with to cut the line. Otherwise, don't cut the line, because now you think that it's okay to just cut the line anywhere in America. You're standing in line at Walmart and you just walk in front of everybody and start speaking Spanish and cutting the line. That's not how we roll. And it's not fair to the other families seeking asylum, who've gone through the proper process. So to me, that would be the ones that, I would consider. But if you're no different than the other ones that have, filed, for visas in this country, you have to wait in line like everyone else, unfortunately, as sad as that is for you and your family. Now, to your point about you would do the same thing, we're getting there. I would do the same thing too. Let's be clear. But what's your take on Chicago? Because I don't think no one voted on it. I definitely had no say in it before I fled the city and came to the West Coast. What's your take on Chicago as an asylum city, Self Luv? What's your take on that?
Sanctuary city.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah. Yes.
Sanctuary city.
Yeah.
It's
interesting, but yet they're at South Shore. They're not, but we'll get there. But go ahead. What's your take on that?
I feel, I don't know how I feel about it. It's some aspects is cool and some it ain't. Because some of these people are coming from places and they have a negative attitude and opinion of us, and their interactions with us show from the programming they got about us before they even deal with us.
Talk your talk.
Yeah, and some it's okay. They are different. They just conquered by different people because there's so many different peoples coming, you know, all through South America. Some of them are the same people as us. They just got conquered by different, you know, people that got them
Hey, if
talking
anybody's
Spanish.
running for asylum, the Haitians have been trying to get in here on that same thing for years. Trife Max said, yeah, but they come across the street, get the money, send it back across the street, which I would do the same thing, Trife Max.
Yeah.
I mean, but send it back across the street so that the money is not contributing to the economy of this country, so to say. Correct. Listen, if I came here seeking asylum, I would come here and try to get the bag. I would come here, get the bag, send the money back to my family. To Trife Max's point, oftentimes there's no taxes and there's nothing. It's creating a burden on the country that you've entered seeking asylum. I remember Self Love. I was commuting back with a Hispanic girl from work, and she wasn't Mexican. I can't remember what she was, but she was talking about assimilation, you know, and she said that she had a problem with Latin people who come here and they don't assimilate. And I said, well, you know, I was ignorant to an extent. You know, I was saying, well, you know, you have every right to come to this melting pot and rep what you are and what you love and what your foundation is. But now I see more of what she was saying.
Yeah. I get it.
You know what I mean? But what's your comment, your take on Trife Mac? You know, the money's not rotating in the community. It's not recycled.
I mean, that's to be expected. I mean, they are afforded opportunities that we are not in our own communities. And it's black market, so.
Yeah, I'm in an asylum city, Los Angeles, and I hail from asylum city in Chicago. I would say I'm okay with it. How do you feel about governors in the border states busing the asylum seekers to these what do you call them?
Sanctuary
cities.
I don't like it, but if you label yourself as such, then that's what you're gonna get. And I thought they was putting them on a Greyhound or something. They rolled up in a school bus,
a raggedy school bus,
man, from Texas somewhere.
A raggedy, no bathroom, nothing. What was going on the road? How are these people using the bathroom? And I noticed a lot of them are melanated.
Yes.
To your point, though, I would do the same damn thing, but that's for later. We're gonna get there.
Yes. There's no way.
Now I heard a rumor. Well, we'll get to the rumor later. But they were initially busing the asylum seekers to Light Blunt's community, where she's got her property values, she's got that home, you know, she's got her.
Okay.
Her
I mean,
wife.
usually it's these border areas are Republican in nature, so
they were busing them right to her community. Somehow they ended up in South Shore.
Well, they weren't there. So this was a discussion. They're in a police station somewhere or something. This was a discussion, you know. So they probably went from Light Blunt's area to the police station. And then they trying to see where they could put him at. And you're like, we got this training center over here in South Shore. Let's talk. Let's set it up a community thing, and you know, 2 or 3 people show up, and then we can do what we want to do.
That's exactly what happened. Because there's Self. I mean, I've been doing research on this. And when we get to, and I hope you guys, stick around when we get to like what literally happened, it won't surprise you at all.
Yeah.
I don't think it would piss you off because you've got your composure, and that's with a capital K.
Yeah.
But it's going to rub some people in an interesting way. I do want to say, I haven't fact checked the data, but this came from many comments from many places. Self Love, since he's in the city, may even be able to corroborate it. I know he's got a 10 ad. He's ready to put it on right now. But we're gonna break down that those allegations in the second half, because we all know what this means out here.
Let's go. It's disappearing. It's ducking under.
It's the Self Luv Show. The Self Luv Show. Let me check my settings.
Do it for the people. Yes, sir. I'm not equal. It's doing better now. Fine meals. Y'all know how it is. Yes, y'all. Y'all know the truth. It's of halftime. Today, we have been expanding our conversation on immigration or invasion crisis in Chicago. A lot of interesting comments. And got a lot more to get to second half, but we have some very important videos for you to enjoy, and we will be right back at you.
www.housestock.com. Links pinned in the chat.
Yes,
Big ups
get
to
on
our
it.
sponsor.
Get it.
Man, I thank you guys for inviting me on. Thank you. Great format, very solid. It don't have that low budget movie feel. You know what I'm saying? And we get that a lot in the Black community, for real. Like, people look at us to be fuck ups. They look at us to be low budget. They look at us to be ignorant, stuttering, and use a whole bunch of and all of that. But no, they got the real deal on here. That everybody know who Torian Mills is, baby. They know.
Hey, well, bro,
They so ignorant.
Hey, but this platform's your platform. This platform's my platform. From Inglewood, California to
the
Chicago,
South Shore.
Crazy thing about it.
This platform is
made for you and me.
It's made for you.
The crazy
ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I was trying to get out the end of the preamble, but go ahead, bro. What's the point of life? Lie? Why do we do it? And what's the point of strife? Pimps and whores see right through it. They see fluid. All Johns ain't saints, and St. John knew it. Tricks are preachers, 12 disciples, and so-called druids. See, solid. Get married and have shorties after college. So what's the point? Vibrate love, go share knowledge. Silence is violence. Stupid is as stupid does. Join the Give Back Gang Alliance. Gang, gang. what should Black people do, foundational Black Americans do, to eliminate, outside of pushing for reparations? Let's assume reparations would never happen. But what should we be doing right now to help shorten this financial gap between us and our pink or white counterparts in this country? What should our focus be?
Business, for-profit business. I hate to say, I know that it is a negative thing now in this world to talk about capital, but the fact of the matter is we generate a tremendous amount of money as consumers, but we do not make that money work for us. I think we have to focus on building sustainable businesses in our community that can create wealth and jobs. There will be no Calvary. As much as I want reparations, white folks have proven time and time again that they are going to do whatever they can to stop or block that. That stated, every time I talk to somebody Black and they tell me they want to start a business, they tell me they want to start a nonprofit business. Well, and I think we have learned how to deal with money in such a poor manner that it keeps us consistently behind. There can be, people think of the Ford Foundation, but there can be no Ford Foundation without the Ford Motor Company to fund it. And so I think we've got to re-examine our relationship with money, with business, and be focused on it. I think that I myself have overemphasized politics because wealth is legislated. But oftentimes what has happened is our wealth is legislated through nonprofits and through social services, while white wealth is legislated through banking, finance, and capital growth. Ours are generally built on depreciating assets. So if you look at Black millionaires and Black business people, predominantly they make their wealth from government contracts, whether social service or through government relations.
We've got one who can see.
Whenever the economy contracts or the government has issues or it changes, then our wealth is relying upon that. Now, when I talk about wealth, I'm not talking about becoming multimillionaires. I'm talking about the money that allows us to be able to put food on the table, that allows men to be men and not have to beg or grovel. We don't even sell the fish. We don't fry chicken anymore. We don't fry fish anymore in our own communities. We have given up every business and outsourced it. And we have to start focusing on reclaiming the businesses that were in our communities that we rely on every day.
Hey bros, what's going on? This is Cotton. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Do you still have them? I've got mine.
Knowledge we understand what we represent.
People. Y'all know what it is. We're back. It's the Self Love Show. Self Love Show. Today, we're unpacking immigration or invasion crisis in Chicago. Hope y'all enjoyed those videos. A lot of knowledge, wisdom. You choose to use it.
Thanks. Y'all know we do it for the people.
All
we do
the
it
time.
We do it for the people. Thanks for sticking around. We're going to kick off the second half. This is quarter 3 of the Self Luv Show, sponsored by Midwest Festival, presenting House Stock. The link is pinned in the chat. All right, Delph Love, let's continue to journey down this rabbit hole nobody wants to journey down. What are some concerns you may have associated with undocumented people being integrated in your community?
The presentation of our people to them and what has been programmed into them, and having no knowledge, wisdom, or understanding of our culture or of us. Because some of them are going to come with them, even the melanated ones, even the dark-skinned ones, that culturally they are from where they come from. And their program of us is a large concern. Because I think they would be better served put in somewhere where there's Spanish-speaking situation.
Any other concerns outside of the programming and the potential racism added to the pot?
Well, I think that adds a myriad of concerns, because fear makes people do a lot of things that they may not normally do. And you're, coming to a whole new situation, and then you're placed in our neighborhood. I don't know.
Well, I know you indicated earlier, many of them are good people. Most of them.
Most, yep.
Then there may be 10% who are.
No, 10%, that's on the criminal, but.
Correct. But
right.
What I'm saying is we're talking about concerns.
Right. The concern.
So my concern would be those 10% who are undocumented, who are adding to the criminal pie. As though we don't have enough crime already.
Right. That part. Plus the other that have a completely negative opinion because of their programming and how their interactions will go with us. Yeah.
We got that programming. Now we're talking about any other concerns.
Yeah.
Criminal activity, would that be a concern?
Yeah, I talked about that earlier too. Yep.
Right, and that's what I was going into. Let's say if
racism,
you get 10,000, say if you get 1,000 in your community, let's just give a number, 500 in your community, and 10% of them are flooded in with the cartels and the powers that be from those companies, whatever their ill intents are to get a bag.
Right.
Now you've got 50.
Right.
Could be high level criminals in your society, in your community that already has enough, on its system, on its plate, so that would be a concern. I mean,
and
Donald Trump said it, but that was the overplay for the underlay.
Yeah.
No one wants to be associated with that evil man, Donald Trump, which no one here does want to be associated with that. And we said it, though, on this show. He may have said some things that are true, but because it's coming from him, no one can hear it, which could be a plan. It could be, I'm saying that could have been played out for a bigger agenda, but just sticking it to the concerns. So that would be my concerns. Criminal activity. We don't know who these people are. They can't all be victims of the cartels and the gangs that they're complaining about. All of a sudden, our streets are flooded with more guns and drugs than ever, and it's been tagged back to the cartels, who I've said is all orchestrated by the CIA, but I'm going a little further down the rabbit hole than most people want to go by.
Also, the cost to the city that was already operating in a upside down budget.
The cost to the people.
Yeah.
Yes. You work every day. It's a tax burden. Well said. I didn't even think about that. And so it brings me to my next question. Why isn't anyone asking where that funding will come from, which is always a question about reparations?
Because they fund what they want to fund.
Fair enough. And you've had these Haitians trying to get into the country on the East Coast there, and they haven't been granted one-time asylum.
Haitians fought off European
The French,
nations.
the oppressors. Yeah, the French.
Yeah. It wasn't just the French either. Yeah. It wasn't
Well, I
just
know
the
they were
French.
colonized by France.
Yes, that's what it was, colonized. Yep.
I got what you're saying. The French had backup.
Yes.
And the Haitians were slaughtering them all. Big ups to the Haitians.
Yeah.
Now, here's the rumor. Go ahead.
They were using some our old religion.
Well, here's a rumor I need you to comment on. And I will have my 10 hat next week. Lori Light Blunt allegedly met with aldermen. Hold on, having some trouble here. Of course I'm having trouble now. Okay. Met with aldermen from your city. They were all from traditionally Hispanic communities. And then you made a point like, why didn't you send them there? And it was decided at this time in this closed door meeting, it's not on the press, not on the TV, that these undocumented peoples will be placed in Black communities. You know, they did that with the projects as well. What are your feelings on this? I mean, now listen, I haven't vetted the information, but I hadn't heard about it at all. I received 3 different inboxes on a video that was posted suggesting this. I'm not getting the local feed of news that you're getting.
Right.
I want you to unpack it. And do you think it's possible that the Honorable Larry Lightfoot would have participated in such a meeting and an agenda?
At the end of the day, she's a lawyer, lawyer, and she's not been for the people as far as I'm concerned. So I think that, I don't know, maybe she's sizing something up for after she's out as mayor, which she already is. So maybe that was about a deal of, maybe she moved with them the whole time. Who knows? She was terrible as far as I'm concerned.
Had you heard this rumor?
No, because I'm really a lot unplugged on, especially this Light Blunt reign.
So I mean, this would be major if somebody could prove that she sat down with the Hispanic community and they told those people, don't worry, we won't flood your communities with these people seeking asylum. We're going to send them to the Black communities. And it seems like that's what happened here in LA.
Yeah. It's by design, that's for sure. That's why, I hadn't heard that, but I mean, they don't want them in their community. That's what that is.
Because they know. I have a Mexican friend. Mexico, like, these people are coming from Venezuela and different
They're coming
places.
from, that's what I said, they're not really Mexicans.
Correct. Mexico don't even want.
I'm just saying, like, Mexicans and them people ain't exactly the same people. But it's a lot of
Obviously.
Spanish speaking people that are our people. But they got
Well, yeah, I find that the ones who went through the process don't have any respect for these people because they're saying, I went through the same shit and I still didn't storm the borders.
yeah.
Now, the former mayor, the other mayor is saying no comment right now, the incumbent. But he was just sworn in, so he's gonna have to start, stepping up to the plate. Lightblunt is looking like what's been done in LA to allow them to get jobs. And this is allegedly to reduce the financial strain on your taxpayer dollars. What's your say on that? What are your spidey senses telling you on that? Bring them in, get them jobs, they pay taxes.
It's a way to replace us. It's the way to move us out of the workforce. They can bring them in and pay them minimum wage and probably more than they ever made.
So why is there funding to feed and house poor immigrants from outside of the United States, to put them in abandoned schools, police stations? And there's no funding for local homelessness, poverty, reparations, or even to operate these very schools that were closed down because the city had no funding. Why is there funding for this and there's no funding for the people who built this country?
They fund what they want to fund. And, the fact that they're even speaking about reparations on any level while they are flooding the market with cash and devaluing it to the highest level, it's the only reason they're even talking about
it. Yeah, personally, bro, I'm starting to feel I'm starting to feel some type of way. Some type of way. I am literally, and big ups to Rich Homie Corner. I'm starting to feel some type of way about all of this. And your boy Ice Cube, was pointing all of this out. All of this out. Kind of getting ahead of myself. But there's an agenda here.
completely.
Which we will unpack. Oh, we will unpack. But before we go there, bro, if Black and Brown are so damn down, why were the people in the South Shore area holding up? That dude looks like Dimebag Dude back there. The dude holding the sign. Why were the people out there, our family and people we know, protesting so vehemently against this?
Well, none of the people actually came to the area, so that I don't know where that scene, that's what I'll call it, from the news clip. I'm not sure where that was. They went into a hotel. They didn't go into South Shore. So the people
Well, this picture is I thought was from that meeting you were talking about, but I could be way off base. Go ahead though. The people were what?
Yeah. The people in the meeting, none of the so-called asylum seekers were in the meeting. So they were just dealing with whatever they imagined the asylum seekers would be. So
But there's a narrative of, whenever they talk about oppression in America, they talk about black and brown people. Every political pundit and media pundit, they can't say black without saying brown.
Yeah, that's just some programming. Because the thing is, since Harold Washington been gone, there's not been no black and brown alliance. There's not. Even the so-called.
Wait, so you're saying Harold Washington started the black and brown alliance?
I'm not saying he started it, but he had it high into office and working with it in the government.
So he used that as a tool. He used that as a tool.
Yes, and
okay,
and him and Chuy Garcia, they did have something, making something significant. That Harold got in because of us and them, more than anything. But since he passed,
well, that's interesting. So you're saying, so the Democratic Party or what have you probably took that model and said, we can do this on a national level, or the powers that be. I hate to single out the Democratic Party.
Yeah, it's all by design, in and out, pit us against each other, and we're against each other now. Right.
Man, that's interesting. So it's maybe everything you're seeing on the news, isn't real, because you would think that if everything was how they say it is, black people would say, yeah, come on, send us, you're tired, you're poor, you're needy, you're hungry.
Yeah, you would think that, but like everybody that we did that to gets pushed above us. So I know at some point, we got to think about us.
What do we say, Self, to those who say America, spelled KKK, stole this land? So why shouldn't we just allow the people who were colonized by Spain to enter the United States?
Some of those people weren't here. It was our people that was here. You know my opinion of this. So they weren't here. They were where they were. Some of them. And then some of them are our people, but they were from where they were from. So that's why.
This land wasn't stolen from them per se.
Facts.
But I've heard you say, because we've discussed this, that it's a humanitarian issue and borders are just imaginary lines. So what's the issue?
When they already delve out the services in the lowest form to our community, and then they start to take those funds from our community and put them upon that community that's coming in, that's where there's a problem. Because that's where almost all of the funds are coming from. Things that was put in place and not enacted because it was waiting for this situation. It's all been planned.
And facts, flesh even. I had a revelation. I think we were discussing this. We're quick to blame the politicians. Sure, yeah, it's what's in it for me. Yeah, and you can do this, you can get all these votes and all this support. That's what's in it for you, Mr. Politician. But who's presenting this offer to the politicians? You even mentioned, they come work for minimum wage, what have you. Who would ultimately benefit in flooding a market with a bunch of poor labor, and this has been done historically in the United States, with a bunch of poor labor, black folks migrated from the South, North, who's benefiting and it's creating riots and chaos and Black Wall Street type of terrorism acts in these communities? Who benefits when all of this happens?
Well, like I've said on a couple of occasions, we've not seen the results of the 2020 census, and it's because they're a minority already. So they're flooding this place with any and everybody that they can so they can qualify them as white so they can stay a majority in this country.
So it's interesting. So it sounds like you're saying white supremacy benefits, and I'm going to take it a step. I don't want to say further. I'm going to extend that. Because what I keep getting flashes of, it's the lobbyists. And who are the lobbyists? The big corporations.
Which is also the foundation of the financier of white supremacy.
You said earlier, puts us against one another and, you know what I mean? Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all been planned years ahead to take us down this journey. And at the end of the day, the winner is always going to be the profiteer. And that's these big corporations vis-a-vis white supremacy. They go hand in hand.
Well, that's their plan, but that's not. That shit's gonna collapse. And we gotta start working with, we're the largest consumers on the earth almost, just in this country. Like what we spend is like fifth in the world economy, if they're not lying about that part. But if we started spending with each other and building Silverdales all over the place, and then have a United States of Silverdale type of situation, there's nothing that says we can't have that corporation or organization. And have our own commerce amongst each other and every institution we need.
And I'm a firm believer that we can't find solutions until we get to the root cause. And then, obviously go from there, because this is a solution-based podcast. But self-love, Brother Wordsmith, if you were the mayor of Chicago, what would you do? I mean, it's easy to kick Mayor Larry Lightblunt and this new guy from the west side of Chicago. What would you do? I mean, it is a humanitarian crisis for 90%.
Yeah, it's gonna be a difficult thing. He's coming in, following up on a whole situation that he doesn't have much control over. Like, this is a sanctuary city, and it's been put in place as that. So, to a certain degree, he's got to follow the script. And I am certain that there is money that's already in a budget for this type of thing, as it being a sanctuary city, and my belief that this has been planned and that the border cities will send them to your mic is muted.
What would you do if you were mayor of the city and you were faced with this crisis?
Play along the playbook and see where we could minimize the amount of people that was sent here. I don't know, might be petty and send some back to sender.
and I've thought about it because I know the mayor, Brandon Johnson, I think that's it.
Yeah.
He's been taking suggestions from the people, which I love, for solutions to these issues. If I'm mayor, Self Love, what I'm going to do is dollar for dollar. And that's being too fair. Every dollar that's spent for the migrants, there's going to be a matching dollar spent for the citizens of the community. If the city pumps up $50 million and gets 10,000 of them jobs, then the city needs to pump in $50 million for the South Shore community and get 10,000 of those people jobs as well. It's the only thing I can come up with. The God in me says everybody needs help. Now, if I was president of the United States, me personally, Self Love, I'd sign a reparations bill, most Ricky Tick. Because I know you guys say I'm lowballing. You cut me my check tax-free, $375,000.
Oh, yeah, you're lowballing.
Hey, I'm taking what I can get. U.S. currency. If you cut everybody in America, descendants of slavery, South Shore area, right now, a check for $375,000. Sure, yeah, bring the Haitians in the community. Send me your Belizeans and your Nigerians.
Yeah, if you create all of that money is gonna be like 25 grand. If you cut a check for everybody and all of that inflation.
Again, if you're gonna cut the check for the asylum seekers, I'm just giving you my solution.
That's also devaluing the money. It's ridiculous.
Correct.
So
the money going to Ukraine is devaluing the money. So if you're going to devalue the money for everybody and their mama, you're going to devalue some money for the indigenous people of America who were prisoners of war and slavery. You're going to cut that check. Okay. And hey, send them all in. Bring them. I don't care. I'm just saying that's what I came up with. That's the best I can come up with. You already commented what you would do if you were in the migrant shoes. I've commented, I agree with you. I would, call up the folks, in this case, the GDs or the Stones, because those are the whoever. And I would call them up if I'm leaving America because it's a shithole. And I'm going to some country that's milk and honey. I would call up the local gang. How much is it? $2,000 to get you and your family across the border. And I would get into that country and I would make as much money as I could. I would lean on the resources of everyone. I would get there and say, I need some help, me and my kids. I would prop my kids up there. Look at my kids, they're hungry, right? I would do all of that. I'm telling you, that's what I would do. I would take that money and send that money to my mom, and my grandma, and my family that's back in shithole America, right? I would do everything that they're doing.
Including when you get into the new area, might be 6 to 8 families paying one rent.
If they're paying that rent. Okay. But what would they do in our shoes? Let's say Mexico or Venezuela was, milk and honey. And a bunch of your foundational blacks were just flooding the borders, saying, hey, I need money to feed my kids.
White supremacy.
That's what I get. My spidey senses are telling me that,
they're very, very programmed against us. The ones that ain't are ones that were, grew up in, proximity or something. There was some, maybe school was a immigration point or something.
Correct. They had a higher education. Yeah.
And there was some interaction, like people that haven't really interacted with us only can go off the programming and what's been presented, and all over the world. For us, it's not good. It's bad.
Hey, look, if you want to keep shitting, I'm just telling you, I'm speaking on behalf of myself. If the black community made me a monolith, cut the check. Cut the check.
Cut the crap, cut the check.
Cut the check. Cut the check. Yeah, but we need money for the house. Cut the check. Cut me my check. Cut my people the check now. And you can bring anybody. You can do whatever you want to do. Big corporations, lobbyists, white supremacy. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, I feel you. We just don't agree on the amount for the check. That's all.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, you're talking about devaluing money, and the more you get, the more the money's going to be devalued.
Right.
Yeah. Cut me my check and cut it now.
No, and a higher point, because they're going to keep devaluing anyway. They're trying to get rid of it and crush it. It's the only reason they're even talking about reparations.
Well, give me my Bitcoins. All right, now, here's the magic question as we get towards the end. I've told many times on this show how there was a mini Hispanic, they call them European non-Hispanics, white non-Hispanic people in this country, have literally told me something. This is an invasion, that this is a planned, targeted invasion. If we did steal the land, or if not we, but if America, KKK, if America did steal this land from them, which the Self Luv Show doesn't buy into, but if we did steal the land from them, what would be stopping them from now doing the same thing? Infesting or invading our borders and taking back what they feel like is theirs.
And they can paper genocide the whole thing. Just like what happened originally.
Yeah, poor whites, we don't want to say trash. Can I say, I can't say that, but can I say rednecks? Yeah, rednecks coming here from Oxynoxy, Europe, and all over the place. Poor, you know what I mean?
Peasants.
Stealing land from, yeah.
Killing and taking land. When people that had land for a long time was very successful. We owned everything, weren't slaves. We owned everything.
And they were raping our kids.
Yeah, they were working for us. And then the law, the maritime law, and where they changed the meaning of the words, because words mean different things in court than they do in regular life. And you have to examine what words mean in the etymology and in which situation you are using them. It's very important, because this language we speak is a spell. And, in court, they change up the meaning of things and ask you if you understand. And when you say yes, then it's informed consent.
So is this immigration or invasion?
Invasion, and welcomed, because we want to keep their numbers up. I'm talking about the Caucasians that in the census.
Yeah, because I noticed over the last, I think it was less than 10 years, to your point, I started seeing on applications, are you white but non-Hispanic? White but Hispanic?
Yes.
But they didn't have an option for, Black Hispanic.
No.
And And when I was doing some COVID as a COVID tester. Many Hispanics, the down ones, they would be like, "Man, I don't understand this shit." They would literally say that when I showed them what they had to fill out. It was like, "Where's this shit coming from, bro?" So, as we've heard today on the Self Love Show, our beloved city of Chicago is facing a major humanitarian emergency, as thousands of migrants have been arriving from border states simply seeking refuge and a better life. Many are criminals bringing shit and guns into your country. The immigration and vis-a-vis the spooks, the immigration crisis is not only a legal and political issue, but it's also a social and cultural one. It does raise many questions about our values, our identity, and our responsibility as a city and a nation comprised of immigrants. But Brother Wordsmith would say, many of us are the indigenous people. The part that's the overplay for the underlay. The part that's, quite frankly, been lied to us. The truth that has been hidden from us. It also challenges us to find common ground and solutions that respects the rights and dignity of humanity. The Self Love Show, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the immigration or invasion crisis? How do you think our beloved city should respond? How should our nation respond? I mean, can you open up your doors and let every homeless or poor family into your house and feed them all? What are some ways that we can support the migrants and the sanctuary cities that host them? Please share your opinions and feedback within the live comments or the comments on the stream if you weren't privy to catch the live. Support housestock.net, Midwest Festival. All right, Self. You got any words on that before your final words?
Just, man, I could see supporting someone outside of my house if everybody in my house is supported. Otherwise, it's not practical.
Charity starts where?
At home.
Yeah, if your family's already surviving off ramen noodles, and they're asking you to bring in 2 more families to feed, people are going to die or start killing each other. They tested that with rats.
Yeah, and they started eating each other.
Yeah, exactly. But the rats who they fed and kept fat never harmed one another at all. Same with your domestic animals, Self. You keep them fed, they're not going to fret, attack each other and eat them. But if you got a dog and a cat and you stop feeding them, that dog's going to eat.
Or the cat.
Or the cat. All right, so no one in the chat was smart enough to solve today. And I thought it wasn't created by ChatGPT. I thought it was a rather simple dome teaser. But we'll allow Self Love to once again give us the key. So the question is, what tastes better than it smells? What tastes better than it smells? Self Love, the genius.
First, I thought about actually eating something. That's why I was confused. That's why you always got to know that a riddle is to throw you off and to think in a certain direction. Then I realized that in your tongue, tastes better than it hears every time because it's your taste.
Not hears, but better than it smells.
Oh, yeah.
So you're saying your tongue stinks?
Well, what I'm saying is it's a taster. And yeah, sometimes it stinks. Shit. It depends on what you eat and what you consume.
Correct. So there's a double entendre there. But to your point, it's the organ that's used for taste. And it's not the sensory organ that has anything to do with smell, although they are somewhat connected.
Somewhat, but no, not. Well, taste is partially smelling and
your
tongue.
Yeah.
So taste is that, but yeah, well, I guess that is all in there.
Yeah, but bottom line is he's right. Once again, tongue is the answer to that riddle. He showed you how he processed and how he was able to use his gut, because your gut has a thought center in it too. That's a story for another day.
That's your main brain. It's the main thinking center.
Yeah, big ups to, all of the Brown community that are down, the Browns that's down. Small ups to the ones that come over here pushing white supremacy, to the same people that don't respect you at all. Educate yourself. All right. So we did the riddle. Next week, on the Self Love Show, we're going to go ahead and break down deep fakes, AI generated deep fakes, their power and potential. We're going to look forward, Nostradamus, if you will, into what we see will be coming in the future as a result of these deep fakes out there.
Oh, boy. Y'all better hold on, because that's going to be a trip down the rabbit hole at light speed.
Facts. What the government should do or not do.
Government better do something. Them government officials, man, them white people, they do what good. The government, you better put your
tell you
facts.
something. You could not sit in class. Me and Andrew used to point this out when we were on honors track at Eisenhower. You could not sit in class at William H. Ray while the teacher is teaching and not get sent to LD. You couldn't sit there. The teacher tell you once or twice, keep your mouth. I'm not saying Ray School was right, because William H. Ray, it's a whole story in itself. We need to do a show on him. And he was a devil. Well, we don't know what was in his heart.
Yes, we do.
I'm just saying, the Hyde Park, and you couldn't sit there in class and, watching a movie. They're showing you a film. You just couldn't do it.
I told you about the play we was at from New Jack City, and the lady had her ringer on and answered 3 phone calls during the play. And when she was not on the phone, I did look back there, and she was grown as 20, 30 something plus year old. And
there should be a law enacted. When you see that, you should better slap the shit out of that person. Because that's what your parents would do to you when you're growing up and you're coming out of Theta. And
no.
Shut your mouth, close your mouth.
Only way you come out of Theta with that is your parents or the school people, whoever you are taking care of you, your primary caretaker. So that's who they
your
should
primary
slap.
caretaker who's sitting there watching you as you're teaching the ABCs and the kid. You're teaching the kid the ABCs and Right. They watch you watch TV.
Aba, Beaver, C, Diva, Diva, Dub.
Big ups to Mushmouth, man. Mushmouth didn't get enough. We're gonna. I think I'm gonna call my boy at Cap TV. We're gonna.
I'm
gonna
mad.
do something about Mushmouth.
I'm mad because the inventor of Mushmouth was like the greatest hater of Mushmouth. You invented Mushmouth, and then you get mad because the rappers,
He didn't
rap
invent
like that.
Mushmouth. He simply depicted
Well, I mean,
Mushmouth.
as far as into I agree with you. I mean, I'm saying, but he was like the first presentation that's recorded on media and all of that. And that's what we was talking about. It's Mushmouth, and they mumble rap.
I remember Family Guy did something on Fat Albert. He had diabetes. His foot got cut off. Yeah, big ups to Cap TV. All right. Yeah. All right. So that's what we got.
That was Biggie's character.
Yeah, it was. It was. Big ups to Biggie Smalls.
Huge.
Brooklyn's in the house. And so we got Mouthpiece included. We're covering the big loss. We lost Big Jim Brown, legend. So we're going to be breaking that down. We talk politics. You guys are always welcome to pull up if you still got your what stuff.
Nuts.
Yeah, for lack of a better term. Yeah, if you still got your nuts out there, pull up. A lot of people text all week. They got a lot of crap to say about this, that, and the third. But when it's time to pull up and break it down, they don't tend to break it down out there. So that's what we got coming from you next week, coming for you next week on Mouthpiece Included. Please make sure you smash the what's up
like button and so you can know when every time we present a new video or the notification of when we go live.
And support House Stock as you're at it. The link is pinned in the chat. It's going to be a fantastic time. We'll be making history.
Yes, y'all. And it don't stop. And a new addition, found out today that your boy Tory Wordsmith, aka Hot Tub Tory.
Check him out on Twitter.
Will be having a hot tub out there. We can kick it.
There will be a hot tub. I gotta tell Joe White, he's in the comments quite frequently.
Yeah.
Joe White, oh yeah, he's a hot tubber. Yeah, he understands the benefits. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's a hot tubber. So Joe Weezy, you can get out there and get yourself in the hot tub out there.
Yes, we're gonna be out there listening to this house music with these DJs from all Tory, over.
You can get your back scrub out there. You guys can scrub each other's backs.
No.
Enough of my nonsense out there. I'm going to turn over.
Complete enough of your nonsense because you know me. So I'm
to
not.
His brother to his right.
I stay low key, but I'm not. I'm strictly. So, all y'all thinking about a hot tub that's non-heterosexual, you can.
Non-heterosexual. You heard him.
Yes.
This is Wordsmiths.
Y'all, thinking that it's some non-heterosexual thing.
I got
you.
Teachers
already lost. Yes.
If you
that's your thing.
That's
your thing. Yeah.
If you want to scrub his back, scrub his back.
He stay on away from me because I'm.
Wordsmiths. Final words.
Immigration or innovation? I said, and I messed up because immigration or invasion.
Or innovation?
It seems to be their form of innovation. To decrease the numbers of the gods amongst the population. The white supremacists bring a high form of hate. Demonstrate why they will change history to inflate
his story.
They pertinence when it's mostly lies. They adopted almost everything. Whitewash everything that they made to rise. They had a devil family or two create the educational system. And right after that, at almost the same time, the medical rhythm. They got rid of all the natural products and came up with the pharmacy. Came up with they could create that could make you sick and get rid of the symptoms of what you came for. I don't know what you see or what you know for, but you know you gotta grow towards the light. We are closer to plants than animals. At least the melanated, not the people that come from us, the human or mankind. Unfortunately, the 2-year-olds of the planet are here in kind. I'm gonna let you know about my mind. It vibrates at higher than I can see. I'm empath, and I feel things that no one could ever feel unless you are in my field. Then you'll know. It's like an invasion from us being on the plantation. They tried our nations. We thought they would play by real when they was just playing the game to steal what we had. But we gonna get it back. We understand who we are. And I'm gonna laugh and celebrate. Words.
Well done, my brother. That was well done.
Thank you, my brother. I love it.
All right, y'all. So y'all know what that means.
Do you think you are the one?
Do you think you're the one?
Honestly, I don't know. You know what that means? Latin.
It's dropping in and out.
Bullets are boomerang.
Stand your ground.
Murders is suicide.
Yeah, well, an eye for an eye.
Silence is violence.
You see something, say something.
Slave theory. Greed plus ego over fear. That's slavery.
I can see that. Because charity plus humility times love is freedom.
Do not answer questions.
You better question everything.
Fear is cap. It's an illusion. It's all in your mind.
So all there is love, so vibrate it.
Forgiveness is the highest vibration of love.
So do something charitable for a so-called enemy and end a beef.
Wise man once told me, healthy people heal thy people.
So I know for sure and experience that hurt people hurt people.
Let's free the old man. Free Larry Hoover.
Man, free Jeff Ford.
Free all the guys, man.
Prison is slavery.
Walk in your Hoosie shoes. Keep your eyes on. Yeah.
For sure, man.
And walk on water.
Absolutely, man. Move mountains to make whatever you need to go and happen.
You shitting me right now? You talking about moving that mountain?
That one, we're gonna get right out the way.
That's white supremacy, man. They got the nuclear bombs, they got all the technology.
No, man. The good book say all we need is the faith of a mustard seed. And when we get there, we already got more than that. So it's gonna get right on out the way.
No one can tell him you're in love. You just knew. You and do.
6 more subscribers to the Sky Dad.
6 more subscribers, y'all. Get them in the building. I'm gonna jump out of plane for God's sake. Love yourself.